Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special live webinar, part of the MedAI webinar series. I'm Hetvi Shah, and I'm delighted to have you all here today for an engaging session on AI. We are honored to have two distinguished speakers with us today. First, we have Dr. Bipin Rathod, an esteemed clinical informatics specialist with decades of experience driving innovations in health, digital health, mentoring healthcare leaders, and serving on numerous advisory boards globally. So, welcome, Doctor. It is a pleasure to have you. Joining him is none other than Dr. Amit Kumar Day, founders of DoctorsAI, a pioneering consultant physician specializing in diabetology and AI in healthcare, with accolades for his groundbreaking work in precision medicine and a robust background in research and education. Moderating today's session, we have Dr. Aishwarya Sharma, a pharmacological resident and doctor passionate about bridging clinical practice and innovative research in healthcare. So, and Dr. Aishwarya is an excellent guide for today's discussion and will ensure we dive deep into transformative role of AI in healthcare. So let's dive in and uncover the opportunities of that AI brings to the healthcare workflow. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Dr. Aishwarya to lead us through this exciting session today. So Dr. Aishwarya, it is over to you.
Thank you so much, Hetvi, for a warm welcome. Good evening, everyone of 2025. I'm Dr. Aishwarya Sharma, and I'll be moderating this session. We took like a break of couple of weeks after the very successful Doctors AI Summit in December, and here we are with another. So this is going to be a recurring thing every month. I want every one of you to mark your calendars. It will happen on second Thursdays every month from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. So it's my pleasure to have all of you join us to explore this transformative potential of AI, as Hetvi rightly said. And as healthcare professionals, we are living in a very pivotal era where AI is reshaping how we diagnose, treat, take care of patients. And this webinar series is designed to spark meaningful discussions to provide some actionable insights and empower us to navigate through these ever evolving landscapes. So today we have with us two incredible speakers who bring wealth of expertise. We have with us Dr. Bipin Rathod.
Thank you, Dr. Aishwarya and Dr. Amit Kumar. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Is my slide is visible for the audience?
No, sir, you'll have to click on the screen share, the arrow.
Yeah, that's already done. So I'm just waiting. Yeah, it's now. It
Yeah,
should be visible
yeah.
now.
Yes, sir, it is.
So all are welcome to our first 2025 webinar. I'm going to focus on the AI and healthcare workforce. What's the how that getting the healthcare and hospital roles getting transformed, and what are the new skills and opportunity available for hospital and healthcare professional that include the doctor, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapist, and pharmacist. I'm also going to share my few case studies and experience where I led uh, AI related transformation journey in the hospital and healthcare. So learning from this session is going to be what exactly is the data AI literacy and the competency framework we have used in UK, the AI project planning and execution, what exactly is happening about the AI projects and how we get it executed in NHS hospitals. And what I can bring for India, what's the way forward for India for AI related transformation that is happening in Indian hospital and healthcare scenarios. So if you see this slide, that is shows that AI is now getting into the newspaper as headlines, which never happened in the past decade. So AI now it's getting visible in every aspect of NHS care setting. So you see this few news headings actually describing the what is the AI is bringing to the NHS in the hospital and healthcare delivery system. So you see, in the right, all 107 stroke center in England using the AI technology. And if you see this highlight is NHS using AI to predict the frequent emergency service user. So AI is now actually getting embedded in all hospital clinical areas in NHS England hospitals. So first thing first, what about developing healthcare workers confidence in artificial intelligence? So in NHS England, we have developed data AI literacy and competency framework to make healthcare professionals understand what is their role, what exactly AI tools and technology they are going to use in their day-to-day clinical works. So here are the image that I took it from World Economic Forum technology trend that is driving the business transformation in next 5 years. So if you see the 86% of the employers accepted that AI and information processing technology that is actually going to drive the business transformation in next 5 years. So AI and information processing technology now affecting healthcare industry too, and that's going to result in driving the business transformation that you will see in next 5 years. And you will see that 86% of the employer actually going to use it. So that's required the huge number of the AI trained clinical workforce everywhere in the world. It's I'm not talking about UK, USA, or Europe, but India. It's now the age of AI adoption cycle. So here, where exactly the clinical workforce that include nurses, pharmacists, physiotherapists, and all allied healthcare professionals, where exactly in the artificial intelligence life cycle we need them to get trained and start helping to get AI's life cycle in hospital and healthcare executed. So here you see that uh, in the red arrow you see the verification and validation of the new AI technology and tools and the model deployment. That is where two area of the whole AI life cycle we need the clinical people to be trained on to get AI technology work for them, work for the patient, work for the healthcare system, and work for the nation. So you see the verification and validation on the your right side is it shows the metrics where exactly we are getting those clinical workforce trained for. So verification and validation in model deployment, you see the subset of the training which we need to get clinician to understand what exactly their role would be in the implementation of whole artificial intelligence life cycle. Are you able to see my My next slide, it's a user one. Aishwarya, I just wanted to check that slide
Yes, sir.
transition is going
Yes,
smoothly.
sir. It's going absolutely smoothly. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hospital healthcare, that's user centric. So that's why I put this specific slide. How we use AI technologies within healthcare settings. So here is the three listed responsibility by the hospital and healthcare professionals. So in the stage one, two, three, we need to train our clinical workforce in these three stages. The first is the education background. So we need to give them the basic understanding of artificial intelligence related tools, technology, and the body of knowledge, make them available to them to read, to go through, and to understand the potential application of artificial intelligence in hospital and healthcare setting. The second is the foundational and advanced AI education. So if someone is interested to get going a little bit further, deep dive into the AI technology, that's for the second stage. And the third stage is the application stage where the clinicians are confident to use product, and we need to provide them product specific training in their hospital and healthcare environment. So let us start with the AI literacy. So AI literacy is a very broader concept, but these 4 points give you a little bit more understanding how you can confirm in your hospital system or healthcare system whether the last mile clinicians understand what is AI literacy. So if you cover those 4 points under artificial intelligence literacy, whether they have understood this new technology penetrating into the hospital and healthcare. So this is very interesting slide set from the artificial intelligence implement tools and technology implementation in NHS environment. So this image, it shows the workforce archetype. So if you see in the third row that you see the what sort of workforce archetype we are preparing in NHS. So you see it's named as a shapers, drivers, creators, embedders, and the end user. Okay. In the AI implementation stage, if you would like to create the matrix or who is doing what, then if you would like to create the strategy and culture in the implementation stage, so you need two people, shapers and driver. If you would like to go for technical implementation, you have to identify the archetype called as a creators and the embedders and so on. So this is very good tool when you start your AI implementation journey. So in India also we can create similar kind of workforce archetype to develop their skill set where they get confident to implement artificial intelligence tools and technology. So here's once again AI making news headlines in the old NHS environment. Lots of AI use case studies now being developed in the hospitals. So right now, NHS has a total 86 live AI project, and each and every hospital is coming with their unique use case, which is addressing the gaps in the hospital and healthcare, and actually, it's now embedding in their day-to-day clinical workflow. So, NHS England has provided us this guideline that's called as a how to get it right. So it has a two metrics, matrices. One is system level enablers, and the one is the evaluation stage and method. So you see in these three stages that artificial intelligence tools and technology getting evaluated by the end users: pre-prototype, demonstrate, scale and spread. And the listed item in the green belt, it is called as a system level enablers. So once you start your AI implementation journey, make sure you get it right first time, and this tool you can use in your clinical areas. So workforce development, as theme says, how we develop the workforce. So this is the five criteria that is get it right first time. They have developed the workforce. So workforce is the utmost important in the any AI implementation journey in hospital and healthcare. So what exactly we are doing with the AI project in the NHS England? So in this slide, you see that the first use case is a segregation of the outpatient chest X-ray, and we have used the Cure AI, which is actually Indian artificial intelligence company in the radiology, getting implemented in NHS hospitals. The second use case, AI-driven blood component preservation and delivery. Third is supply chain intelligence in operation theater. The fourth is the ambulance transfer routing, redesigning workflow and optimization. This is we are using the machine learning to determine what the best route and what's the best workflow would be for given clinical scenario in NHS England. Wound management. So 3M is providing the artificial intelligence layer to make wound management better across the all care continuum, whether it's a primary care, secondary care, or tertiary care. Lots of AI use case already developed and it's actually working in clinical areas. So I have participated one of the acute kidney injury and the sepsis management through the MetaVision is one of the most popular critical care clinical information system being used in NHS. In NHS England, they are using total 800 digital care pathway, and they have a plethora of the data set and data point to start their AI journey, and they can utilize those all collected data set for improving digital care pathways through artificial intelligence. So let's talk about India, where we are and how we should shape our journey. So we have to identify the clinical artificial intelligence role in the healthcare system and provide the government approved competency framework where each competency framework is designed for the different healthcare professional. We basically we can start with the imaging, artificial intelligence, simple pathology and radiology, simple AI enabled clinical decision making tools for physiotherapists and the occupational therapist. One of the best use case I can see that is going to be successful in India, it's AI use case in population health management. If nurses are working in the high end clinical area, they can use artificial intelligence to make their day to day information driven and informed decision making through the different data sets. What we need, sophisticated use cases, proof of concept, and what exactly return on investment. That's the big question being asked by the investors from the hospital and healthcare industries. So here you can go through this. Bhavin Mehta is one of my friend, and he's allied health professional informatics officer and Deputy Chief Nursing Informatics Officer in the big hospital in London. You can follow him, Bhavin Mehta. You can also contact him, ask any specific question, how they are rolling out the different AI tools and technology. I'm happy to take any question from the audience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session and your expertise in showcasing the real world application of AI. We will take the questions. We are getting a lot of audience questions, but we will take those questions after Dr. Amit sir's session as well. Since both the topics are so well aligned, I think we can have a little panel discussion at the end of sir's talk. Uh, Moving ahead, we will have uh, uh, another talk by Dr. Amit Kumar Day. Hetvi, if you he's going to talk about how to start the AI journey as healthcare professionals. Over to you, Dr. Amit sir.
Thank you very much. A warm welcome to everyone. Thank you, Aishwarya, for the kind introduction. Can you confirm me that my slides are visible, Aishwarya?
Yes, yes, they are perfectly visible and you're audible as well.
Okay. Okay. I think we are full screen. Okay, so good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to the monthly Med AI web hour of Doctors AI. And as Ashwarya has introduced to all of you, that this is going to be our initiative of monthly webinars where we will be having different speakers from different domains of specialities in the field of medicine presenting their perspective of the implementation of artificial intelligence. Of course, a big thank you to MedSynapse team for hosting us as beautifully as always, and a fantastic initiation here by our dear friend Dr. Bipin Rathod, where he has given us a fantastic viewpoint of how the healthcare workforce can find themselves in a transforming role play with a change of roles and a change of skill set, but not necessarily being replaced and not certainly being replaced. So we are thick and thin through with that question of are we getting replaced, but we will definitely see a change of role play happening, a change of skill set happening. And he has beautifully demonstrated as how the NHS is preparing themselves with this AI literacy, followed by the implementations of the AI solution, and how the doctors and the healthcare providers, the end users, can be in the forefront of the evaluation and validation and implementation of the AI tools. Now, so with that, it brings to an important questions that how can we make ourselves artificial intelligence literate? So question of AI education comes, and as most of our viewers, members of Doctors AI community, you are aware that at Doctors AI we are totally focused towards education and research on artificial intelligence. So, dear friends, over the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you about how, as medical professionals, we can get ourselves started with artificial intelligence education. So, what to learn and where to start. So, if I can give you a basic understanding, and we have all understood this now over the last 1 year and a half, that this artificial intelligence is here to stay. It's here to change the way we practice medicine, the way we perceive medicine. It is definitely going to be more patient centric if we want it to be, enhancing patient care. And at the end of the day, we must ensure that the artificial intelligence that comes along its way into medicine should not increase the burden on the clinician but increase the efficiency. So, to do that, it is important that we are embracing AI with its potential good, understanding its limitations, with a foolproof literacy and a concept building around it with adequate evidence and data that drives it. So if I can give you the four cornerstone of the application, You are looking at AI transforming healthcare completely with enhanced patient care and clinical efficiency. And that brings us to the second layer of the pyramid, where the core knowledge areas are going to be very important in terms of the competencies of these AI models. And that brings the concept of foundation knowledge. This is something which Bipin also echoed during his talk in the last lecture. After getting a layer of core knowledge areas, there is going to be the question of having a practical implementation of the AI solution in the real world, which should eventually lead to improvement of the quality of care and better patient care. Better patient centric care is what we are eventually looking at. At every point at this, the application of artificial intelligence in medicine has to be driven professionally, hand holding with the clinicians and by the clinicians, because at every step there has to be the application of ethics, legal aspects, and collaboration must come in every step. So each thing is very, very important, and this is what we will be building in this presentation. So the question is, first, why do we need artificial intelligence education? Because Bipin has showed us, and all of us have seen, especially during the global summit, that artificial intelligence can transform the delivery of healthcare, not just in one domain, but in multiple specialities and multiple domains through various nuances and aspects, whether it is diagnostic, whether it is treatment planning, whether it is an acute medicine, whether it is chronic medicine, whether it is the emergency care, or whether it is the hospital administration delivery. And this transformation is happening very rapidly with the evolution of the technology. The AI that we knew in 2023 has much evolved, the AI that we know in 2025. And there is also a constant development of evidence based medicine happening in the field of healthcare. So imagine the exponential development of artificial intelligence with the exponential development and advancement of evidence based medicine going hand in hand with this rapid transformation. Now, the most important part is that with this advancements happening and with this development happening, the clinician and his clinical expertise matters the most. So when people say that artificial intelligence is to be only understood by engineers and technologists, well, in the field of medicine, it's going to be completely different, because the clinician with the clinician expertise needs to understand the nuances and the application of artificial intelligence, because their input is going to be vital for developing and implementing these effective AI solutions. And why it is so imperative is because of this knowledge and information gap. This particular slide is so important that it gives us the idea that with time, knowledge is increasing, and from evidence based medicine, we are going into the phase of intelligence based, data driven, intelligence based medicine. And this is a steeping curve that's happening very fast. So the information and knowledge gap is huge. And with the advancements happening all around us, whether it's the field of medicine or whether it's the field of AI, it's very difficult to keep pace with the developments that is happening each and every day and the bucket of knowledge that is available. So it is constantly widening the gap. And for this, artificial intelligence will be the only thing which will bring this solution of helping you consume a larger resource of knowledge, which is evidence based, intelligence driven, in a smaller fraction period of time with better productivity and better output. So this is where the imperative need of AI education is there, because without the education, we will not be able to gather our medical knowledge with the help of artificial intelligence. So now, what are the core competencies which are required in the medical field, and from the viewpoint of medical education? What are the core competencies which are required in AI education? The first is the foundation knowledge. And this is very important, because without having a base layer of foundation knowledge, we cannot progress into the domain of artificial intelligence, even in the field of medicine. So you need to understand the basics of machine learning, basics of natural language processing, the basics of deep learning, the basics of language models, and the generative AI tools. With that, You can go into the aspect of practical application, where you start understanding the nuances of these tools and implementing, whether it's for clinical decision support or whether it is for diagnostic support. But being the human in the loop, being the human in the connect, you are going to be the person driving the ethical and the legal considerations, because you are the clinician, you are the clinical expert here, who should also have a little knowledge on the data privacy, the security, and the ethical aspects. But you can't do this alone as a clinician, because you're not a technologist or you're not an engineer. So you need to communicate effectively, and you need to collaborate with the stakeholders from the technology world, because that's going to give you the best implementation coming forward. The end of the day, we are trying to achieve improvement in the quality of care that we are giving to our patients, and in our clinical efficiency that we are implementing in and day out in delivering the healthcare to our patients. So at Doctors AI, we are very particular about emphasizing the fact that artificial intelligence has to be your enabler, it has to be your assistant, which will help you improve the quality of care that you're giving to the patient. And that's why we are cracking our brains so much into it, not just because it's a fancy technology to wow about. It should not ever be viewed or used to replace the expertise of the doctor. At the same time, we should be using artificial intelligence to improve the doctor patient relationship and improve the clinical efficiency of the clinician. So let's look at each of these aspects a little bit more in details, and so why these things are important. So when you talk about learning the foundation knowledge, the commonest question that is asked to me over the last 1.5 years is that, do I really need to have a basic idea of coding? Do I need to understand the data science mathematics? Well, no, not necessarily. If you're looking at the basic knowledge of artificial intelligence, you need to understand machine learning, because the whole foundation models are based on machine learning. You need to grasp the AI terminology, just like in your first and second year of medical school, you're grasping the medical terminology. We need to make ourselves bilingual and understand the technical terminologies now, grasp the basic terminologies like what is a reinforcement learning, what do you mean by decision tree, what do you mean by transformer models, etc., and the concept that runs behind it. And that's it. That's the foundation knowledge base that you need. You need to start understanding how you can evolve and evaluate these AI capabilities. Remember, the human in the loop is you as a doctor, and you are the person who's going to be evaluating, because you have the clinical expertise of that subject and that clinical specialty, which no one in the world has, because you are the medical expert here. So you need to understand how you can evolve and evaluate these AI capabilities. So, as doctors that has been following evidence-based medicine over the last 2 decades, we have been harping and we've been speaking about following evidence-based medicine, and that's what modern medicine stands out. That any allied medicine, we must evolve from the wow segment to that question mark of how segment. So how is this model working? How is this model giving this response? Is there a hallucination? Is this data set underfitting or overfitting, and am I getting any skewed result coming out? Because that's what going to help you evaluate the performance of the model than just take it on the face value. For that, as clinicians, as doctors who will be using AI, and the end user, we need to have a foundation knowledge about it, right? The next part is going into the practical application. So then you start looking, where is the application? So for example, can the application be in the field of radiology? Could it be in the field of pathology with the diagnostic tool? Well, yes. Could it be used in clinical decision support? If I'm a endocrinologist, if I'm a clinician, if I'm a diabetologist, if I'm a critical care physician. So we start finding those need gaps into our specialty practice, and we start thinking that, okay, can artificial intelligence be integrated to solve this need gap? After I have a foundation knowledge and I've evaluated a model based on its effectivity and based on its credibility, then can this fit into my workplace, into my work section, and can this give me more evidence based insights? That's very important. You're not looking at being driven by AI insight, but you're going to be enable AI to give you more evidence based insight, more data driven intelligence based insight. And that's what we are looking at eventually, taking us to a phase where we can have a predictive analytics coming in So, taking the primordial prevention of a disease to a bigger extent, where we can leverage AI for not just patient management, but also prevention of disease and in population health, which is going to be explored in the larger aspect. But at every step, being the human connect in the loop, we have to understand and educate ourselves about the ethical as well as the legal considerations. Medical legal education is so important now, which has been already been implemented in the medical curriculum. We need to have the legal considerations of using AI also as a part of AI education, where you understand about the data privacy, which is the most important thing to understand, and understanding and the regulations which exist and how we can adhere to it. Understanding the liability concern, most doctors ask that, who is going to be liable. So as doctors, we need to find the solution to this question by understanding how these AI tools are going to work and how the liability concerns are going to be. Eventually all this should not be burdening us, neither the patient. It should be augmenting the patient doctor relationship, something that might have died down over the years of practice and over the years of busyness and commercialization, that AI can help us improve over the years. And at every step, as I said, the communication is important with each of the stakeholders, and collaboration is important with clear explanation, a collaborative approach, and most importantly, trying to fit an AI solution into your area of practice or area of need gap when you have the sound foundation knowledge, and thereby you will be able to find the tailored solution. And to find a tailored solution, you need to understand the basics, and you need to find the right set of collaboration with the data scientist, with an AI engineer who is going to do building of the model for you. You don't need to build the model. All doctors don't need to build the model. Some may go for it, but not everybody. But you need to understand the basics so that you can find the right collaborator who can help you tailor-made solutions to fit into your zone of practice, bringing you that solution that you need as a clinician. So at Doctors AI, we are very eager to understand and to improvise towards interdisciplinary collaboration with our friends from the tech world. And we believe that this is the way forward in integrating AI solution into the medical workflow. Without this, it is not possible. So there is a place for each of the stakeholders in this whole ecosystem. The end of the day, it is important what we are trying to achieve. Whenever we talk about implementing artificial intelligence into our practice or into our healthcare solutions, it has to be revolving around the patient. So it has to be patient centric, because that's where the quality improvement will come. So it should always be a continuous loop of feedback. So that's what we should get from our patients. And most importantly, it should not be a closed loop. The loop should be open with constant evaluation happening by the clinicians in the loop. So that's where the role play change is going to happen of the clinicians and the healthcare provider, who is going to constantly supervise and ask question to the response which is being generated by the AI solution, and not just take it on its face value, assessing its performance, picking up the mistakes, removing the hallucinations, making sure that the data is implemented and used correctly, and then giving their clinical expertise on top of that AI enabler. And as I said, this whole purpose has to be patient centric, and most importantly, it has to be user friendly tools which should be designed with the patient and the end user in mind. And nobody other than a doctor can be able to give this viewpoint, because he is the frontline worker who has been dealing with patients through his years of experience. Now, let's try to understand that as a healthcare professional, as a medical professional, how can we put ourselves in multiple layers of AI learning? So the first is the basic learning. And in the basic learning, we're looking at understanding the AI tools, just getting the foundation knowledge, and start understanding which is used where. As you start evolving with your AI education, you're looking at getting a more proficient learning, where you're looking at critical evaluation and interpretation of the AI output. So you become an evaluator, you become a validator, and you help organization validate their content and evaluate their content with your medical expertise, with the ethical connect and the ethical considerations in the loop, and you propose adjustments. And eventually, some of us may even become more of an expert where you can have a more in-depth technical and clinical expertise. That's what makes you a real bilingual individual, where you will be driving AI innovations and then collaborating with AI researchers. So this would be the three stratas of learning for a healthcare provider, or if I can be more precise, for a medical professional going forward with artificial intelligence learning. So, how can the medical curriculum be designed with AI education kept in mind? So, the first step would be to keep an early exposure where you are introducing the AI concepts in the undergraduate medical curriculum. And I repeat, it has to be in the undergraduate medical curriculum and not just in the postgraduate medical curriculum, because that's where the foundation knowledge of AI literacy has to start. While you're learning medicine, there has to be the ways in which you can start integrating the use of AI into your learning methodologies as well as into your projects and research where you're doing. So, integrating AI into existing courses, like if you're having a biostatistics courses or doing a clinical decision making project or a case based learning project, we start integrating AI into the learning process of the medical curriculum. And if there is an opportunity, we create a focus where there is a hands on clinical training being provided with the AI tools during rotations and during residency programs. And I think this is how the whole medical curriculum can evolve, with augmented with artificial intelligence, and at the same time artificial intelligence literacy will get incorporated into the medical education portfolio. So let's look at the three tiers of learning framework which we propose from Doctors AI, and we hope the medical fraternity will be happy to take this up. So it should be structured. Not everybody will be built at every level of learning. So the first, of course, uh, at the top of the pyramid is going to be the expert level learning, where the person has to be leading AI initiative and research. The proficient learning is where you have the idea about the more advanced analysis, and the basic is what we start with, which forms the base of the pyramid with the fundamentals of AI literacy. So at the basic level, the practitioners will learn to use the AI powered clinical tools as the end users. So that's where the foundation concept comes in, the fundamental AI concept comes in, and you literally develop an AI and digital literacy. Going forward, you start developing the knowledge for evaluating an AI system, interpretation of the AI output, and as an expert level, as you progress with your AI learning, you can have medical professional develop advanced technical knowledge. They can lead AI healthcare initiatives as AI healthcare entrepreneurs, contribute towards research, and then guide the development of AI applications into clinical practice. So at Doctors AI, we believe that the practice and the training of medical professionals with AI and towards AI literacy has to be very, very practical. And this is why we have built these tiers into our AI education curriculums, where we start with an AI primer. And this is something which we have successfully conducted in medical colleges with undergraduate and medical postgraduate students, which imparts this basic level of education. That's where you get introduced to the fundamental concepts and you get introduced to the handy tools that you can use it to augment your day-to-day activity. So that's the basic level of education that we are looking at, and that is something we deliver at medical colleges in as a Doctors AI primer. Going forward, we propose and we have already been conducting more detailed basic workshops, which gets you to a level of proficient level, which gives you an idea about how the system works. So we have conducted workshops and now we are coming up with a basic certification program, which will help and which will enable a clinician as a medical professional have the confidence of evaluating an AI system and collaborate with the technical teams to optimize the clinical solution. Eventually, if somebody wants to pursue a more expert level learning, that's where you go into more advanced certification program where you will develop a technical expertise to lead AI initiative individually on your own, conduct research, and then also as the chief innovation officer of the hospital or of the institute, you can guide implementation as well in the clinical setting. This is an example what the primer can do, and we have conducted fantastic primers over the last 5 to 6 months in various cities across the country, in the Maulana Azad Medical College and many other medical college, landmark medical colleges across the country. And even as I speak, this month we are planning a primer in the city of Patna in a medical college, and every month we plan to visit a medical college, introducing the basic concept of artificial intelligence to the medical fraternity and the medical community, both the undergraduate, postgraduate students, as well as the teachers of the medical school. So the practical training approaches will involve number one, simulation labs, which is something which can be established with the collaboration with medical institutes, where you can have a hands-on experience with AI powered tools, then allowing the clinicians to practice interpreting these AI generated results. Because unless you get a hands-on understanding of how to use it and where to use it, the education that you get usually dies down, as it is in clinical practice as well. The workshops are very useful. So at Doctors AI, we are conducting workshops, and we encourage people to participate in our regular workshops, because this is where we are actually going to be giving a more hands-on and interactive learning with the healthcare provider, and give you more nuanced and case-based learning, which is important because every specialty has its own need of artificial intelligence, and each specialty will be having their own case based analysis, case study analysis, based on which they can develop their own learning methodologies. The basic learning remains the same, but the application of artificial intelligence will keep on varying as per the specialty that we're looking at in the whole field of medicine. So the learning procedures will also have to keep on evolving based on the specialty that we are talking about. As we spoke earlier, that the disciplinary collaboration is very, very important, because successful AI education cannot be only taught by doctors, but it also needs the data scientists and the engineers who needs to come in as stakeholders in imparting the education, and this is what we try to do. This could be some examples like the Stanford AI Labs or our Doctors AI program are some examples where we have successfully integrated a collaborative partnership with individuals who are partnering with us in imparting AI literacy to the medical professionals. And remember, at the end of the day, you're doing all this to make more innovative solutions which are tailor made for the need gap that you're trying to solve. So the starting point is very important, and the starting point is with the foundation knowledge. After the foundation knowledge, it's important that we understand a little bit of data science principles, because data, as we all say, is the fuel of artificial intelligence. We don't need to be a biostatistician, or you don't need to understand the full blown mathematics, but you need to understand the principles of data science, basics of data analysis, interpretation, and management. And immediately we start exploring the application. This is where the specialty based application comes in with the help of hands on training. And in a vicious cycle, we try to engage in AI research. You talk about literacy and education, but the evidence will only come from research. Just like medicine is built up on evidence, we need to build up artificial intelligence in medicine on the evidences that we build up through our clinical expertise and AI implementation. So, through the process of literacy, there has to be engagement in research. So the way we have structured the Doctors AI is that we have the monthly web hour, something that we are doing right now. We have the podcast, we have the journal clubs, which gives you the overview of the researches, the update hours that keeps on updating you on the latest monthly updates which happens, and then of course the landmark global summit that we will be doing once every year, which will be the part of the continuous artificial intelligence learning. With this, I want to introduce all of you to the course that we are starting very soon. And this is the certificate course of Artificial Intelligence in Medicine that will be starting up this January itself. And this is a certification that the individual will be getting from the Healthcare Sector Skill Council, as well as it will be also affiliated to the Universal AI University based out of Navi Mumbai. And the uniqueness of this course is very important, is that this course will be exactly covering what we said. We'll be covering the foundation knowledge. We will be exploring how the foundation knowledge can be implemented into clinical applications with the right integration of technology coming in at every level. And then we will be giving you an overview how you can start building and implementing these AI solutions into your practice as well, with a basic understanding and examples of how to run the machine learning, deep learning, and the other algorithms with a capstone project. So this is something which the program is going to be focusing on. And of course, who can join? Any clinician, any doctor, healthcare provider, anybody, even a paramedical healthcare worker is more important, who is aligned into AI education. Allied healthcare professionals, academicians, researchers are most welcome to join us. This is going to be live learning. So this is most important unique feature, that we'll be having 42 hours of live lectures and weekend learning. So it's not going to take away your practice time. We're going to do convenient time weekend learning, and the interactive mode will happen using technology. And we will also have a fantastic interactive learning module system with an experienced team of faculty, and learning resources will also be available, and the recorded lectures will help you consume the content on demand. The dual certification is what the most of our students will be getting to all of after while they apply for the course. And as we speak, we are almost to the verge of closing the first batch compilation, and we will be starting by the end of this month. So this is the faculty that we will be having, and as you see, the whole faculty is some of the very important names of the Doctors AI community. So I think this is the first course that will be conducted by the doctors for the doctors. But again, as we said, collaboration is the key, and we are very happy that we have collaboration from the Universal AI University, and Professor Pankaj Roy Gupta, who is also one of the program director of the university, will be one of the faculty, and his whole team of data scientists will also be available to guide the students on this learning procedure and learning journey of integrating artificial intelligence in healthcare. So as you see, the rest of the faculties, Dr. Avnish Khare is our co-founder, is the course coordinator, and of course we have faculties from the Doctors AI community, Dr. Alok Modi, Dr. SV Kulkarni, Dr. Om Lakhani, and Dr. Atul Tiwari, who are all AI expert. They're all certified from various AI universities, and they have the basic foundation knowledge of artificial intelligence. And with their clinical years of experience, they're going to bring in this mix of AI and medical education into the portfolio of this teaching. So, how you can go about and apply for this course? Well, I'll just show you in the next slide. And sorry, all you need to do is scan this QR code that you get on the screen, and this will take you right into the admission page, and you can apply for the course. However, having said that, if somebody wants to really apply, please apply as soon as possible, because we have very few seats remaining, and we want to close the first batch with just a significant number, so that we can give individualized learning experience to all the students. If you want more information, there's the email address which is mentioned. Take a screenshot of this page. You can write to us, and we'll provide you with all the email details, and you can have a chat with our course coordinator, Dr. Avnish. But when we talk about AI education, remember that it's not always the silver lining. There's going to be a lot of challenges that comes on, and the biggest challenge is the curriculum overload. So for a medical student, an undergraduate student, they're learning 4.5 years of rigorous learning with medicine and so many subjects to learn. You're adding one more subject, artificial intelligence. It's going to overload their curriculum, so it has to be integrated in a phase wise manner throughout the undergraduate education. The infrastructure gap is going to be a biggest limitations, because we don't have computing resources, we don't have data storage, we don't have data processing capability. So this is where the integration and the collaboration with the tech world will be very important when we are trying to educate our peers on artificial intelligence. And at every level, there's going to be bias, there's going to be data privacy issue, there's going to be ethical considerations that we need to take into consideration. How do we address this challenge? First and foremost, we need to handhold each other and overcome the resistance to change. This is something that we have faced. Most people have this resistance to change. We need to adapt and we need to adopt, because at the end of the day, it's the survival of the fittest. And every clinician needs to survive this AI transformation with the right literacy. Train the trainer is very important, and that's what we're focused at Doctors AI. We are going to have educated training, so that one doctor can train another 100 doctors on the basics of artificial intelligence. We must go ahead, shake hands with our tech developers, and develop a secure data sharing system, which will take away a lot of load and a lot of inertia from the mindset of clinicians when it comes to data and privacy. And we must have pilot programs, pilot progress, and pilot projects in medical institutes, and share the success stories with each other at the Doctors AI community and at various other communities. So the strategies for institutional implementation will be to have a tailored training program, something which I mentioned, having a partnership being built with universities, research institutes, AI companies, something which Bipin and team is also trying to do, and we are also equally trying to do at Doctors AI. And most importantly, have a flexible curriculum, which is very important. This is what we have built the CCAIM course upon, a flexible curriculum which enables the doctor to learn at their own pace, at their own time, with on demand content as well. So, to end, we must understand that AI literacy is becoming indispensable for all clinicians. It's no longer that I do not know to know this because I live under a rock. You need to know this if you need to survive in the healthcare world. So you need to understand this, but it's complex and it has to be simplified by us clinician and given in a tailored way. Understanding the foundation knowledge has to be a compulsion for all undergraduate and postgraduate medical students with an exposure of hands on experience, which is important throughout this journey of AI education. And medical institution must prioritize AI education to prepare the future clinicians in the field of healthcare. Otherwise, we are going to fall short too much because this progression and transformation is happening very, very fast. And we have seen in the last 1.5 year the potential that AI holds in transforming the whole of healthcare. I invite all our friends to get connected with us at Doctors AI. I'm sure most of you are. And this is a snapshot that you can take to connect with us on LinkedIn. We now have a vibrant community with more than 2,000 members on the LinkedIn and growing consistently every day with new members joining across the globe. And this is somewhere where you can join us if you're on WhatsApp. You can join us and you can share your experience, share your knowledge, partner with us, learn with us, and share your research, share your thoughts on how AI will be evolving in the field of healthcare. With this, I will stop and I think I should now open this up to Aishwarya for the question and answer sessions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. This session was very rightly called What to Learn and Where to Start. You shone light on what to learn and how to start us by joining that course on AI in medicine. Thank you so much. You really demystified a very complex topic and not only provided a clear roadmap to use AI, but to also leverage it at the same time. Thank you so much, sir. We have a lot of questions coming in. I think the first question is for Dr. Bipin, sir. Sir, what challenges do medical professionals face in adapting AI technologies and how can they overcome them? I think so. You are on mute. You will have to unmute.
Yeah, hello. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. So here that I can see the spelling adapting, but let us start with adopting. So adoption cycle is a little bit difficult, and how you adapt, means how you use and how you adapt your clinical workflow according to the tools and technology being used in hospital and healthcare. So first question usually clinician ask clinical informatics professional, and I was leading a few digital transformation, and some of them are AI enabled. It's the trust. Bipin, how we can trust this technology and how useful it is in our clinical workflow. So that's the first things comes first is trust. And they also ask the question who has actually validating this technology for the clinical safety. Once we start using this, if any issue that comes under clinical safety and patient get deteriorated or damaged by the decision matrices which is driven by the artificial intelligence, so there's the first question, who has validated. So trust and validation, that's the most common question clinician ask once we start our AI journey. Over to you, Aishwarya.
To add to it, I also want to understand like what were the major challenges that you faced during the AI project planning at like the in the hospital settings.
Sorry, this is a question for me, or
For you, yes, sir, for you.
so it is here written, isn't it? What specific skill should medical professional
No,
prioritize
no,
when?
I just no. So just to add to the question, I had that one question that what were
Okay.
the major challenges that you faced during the AI project planning and execution at NHS?
Yeah, it's first of all, NHS has a very robust life cycle to adopt the new technology. So we usually go into the reference site to see how exactly this new artificial intelligence uh, tools or technology or any product or service actually getting used by the clinician in the last mile. So NHS Business Authority provide us the reference. Okay, this is the reference site that you can visit and see what exactly AI can or AI can't do for the clinicians. The second challenge is the scoping. What exactly is the scoping of the implementation? Who are the end user is going to use artificial intelligence? Who going to train them? What is the adoption cycle? And but we have a robust mechanism through the NHS Digital. They have a full-fledged support cycle, and where this is lacking in India, we have to have a one identified body who can streamline all the implementation activity and govern the activity about the AI life cycle of product and services getting utilized and planned for any hospital and healthcare system.
Okay, got it. So that would be the first thing that will have to change in the Indian healthcare ecosystem for us to adapt AI, is that we'll have to have that
Yes,
management. Uh-huh.
yeah, robust governance framework, robust legal framework, and legal and robust clinical framework where each and every AI technology that's scoped for clinical use, it's it has 360 view by the technologists, clinicians, end users, even patients are now getting involved
Hmm.
to make scope visible for them because they have to know what exactly you are using for decision making, and they might refuse some of the decision made by the AI technology. So because
Definitely.
that's what the AI is designed for. It's a patience, not for us.
Exactly, exactly. Well said. So, thank you. I think the next question is for Dr. Amit sir. What specific skills should medical professionals prioritize when starting to learn about AI in healthcare?
Yeah, so I think this is the most common question that I get. And I think I've got these questions across all the domains that I've traveled across the country. People ask me that where do I start from and what should I have a basic understanding of? So practically, you need to just be a person who can use a computer. That's it. You don't need to know anything. You need to be a doctor. You need to be a medical professional. And I think all medical professionals, if I can be generalized, knows how to use a mobile phone and knows how to use a computer because you cannot run without it, right? So I think that's all that you need to know. You don't need to learn coding to get started with AI. You don't need to learn the hardcore aspects of data science to get started with AI. That's why we had tired it. The basic knowledge is something which is going to be mandatory. Every medical professional must have this basic foundation knowledge of artificial intelligence. And to get started with that, you just need to be a medical professional who is interested to learn, who is willing to adopt and adapt. That the two word which Bipin mentioned, that is very important. And you need to be curious to learn about this change. With the curiosity, the more you will be able to adopt, the more you will be able to adapt to this change, and the faster you will be able to learn. So you don't have to have any basic skills. Well, as you go up the rank, if you want to get into a more proficient and a more expert level, that's where maybe a layer of coding might help you to understand this. But again, as we speak this, we are in the era of generative AI. And in the era of generative AI, we strongly believe that coding is almost going to get outdated because everything can be built over a no-code tool. So, as a clinician, you just need to get yourself started. You don't need to have any basic skill. And once you start, the journey is going to be fantastic going ahead.
Exactly, because
Uh,
even for coding, we can ask GPT to write a code for
Yes,
whatever
absolutely.
we need to, it needs to be done. Right, rightly said. But
and let
so
me
what?
add, yeah, let me add Aishwarya to Amit's answer. That one of the key skill that I expect from the clinician is that to develop awareness of the type of healthcare problem that is best suited to AI. So
Yes.
they should continually scan of the digital and the data environment in their clinical area where they can find the two variable where they see there should be a connection between those two variable, and which is we are collecting in last 10 years. Now we don't know what's the connection, and ask this question to the computer scientists who are developing the AI technology for healthcare. So you should scan your clinical environment. What data we are gathering? What exactly is the question, and how the AI tools and technology can help to derive something out of those data. And that's what's the key skill I would like all the clinician to develop.
Very, very rightly said, sir. But sir, when we talk about specifics, like what are the AI concepts, if you can briefly say, that we need to learn or we need to have some understanding of? What are the key what are the key AI platforms do you use in your daily life that help you with the patient care?
You're asking this to me, Ashwarya?
Yes, sir, Dr. Amit, sir.
Yeah. So the core concept, as I said, starts with the foundation knowledge, and I think every clinician has to get themselves familiar with the understanding of machine learning and deep learning, because even if you talk about generative AI, it is built from machine learning and deep learning. So I think that's the skeleton, the backbone, the framework of artificial intelligence. Earlier days we had the expert system, the rule-based reasoning, etc. But now in the era of machine learning, that's what you need to start with. So the core concept is understanding ML, DL, and its applications, whether it's image analysis, whether it's a predictive model, whatever you're looking at, those individual nuances, it will all revolve around understanding the basics of machine learning and deep learning. There would be an era, and as we are in this era of understanding natural language processing, because the whole phenomena, if I can call it, of generative AI is based on natural language processing. And this is something, again, a basic concept needs to be developed, because I believe in the future, a lot of clinical solutions will be developed exclusively on the technology of NLP, natural language processing, with the layer of generative AI using a small, medium, or a larger language model. So that core concept is very, very important. The other important core concept is the data science. There has to be a core concept of data science. And I think every medical student has been learning data science in their preventive and social medicine as a part of biostatistics. It is there in the medical curriculum. So it is nothing new. It is something that you will be learning with a new wrapper, with a new definition, or with a new kind of a name, but it's a redefinition, but it is already there in your medical curriculum. So that bit of basics needs to know. And as Bipin rightly pointed out, once you have this basic idea of the core concepts, you yourself will start understanding when you start practicing. Okay, this is a gap in my practice. Can AI bring a solution? Can a generative AI solution help me solve this problem? Or I can see this trend in my database, in my electronic medical record. Can I use an ML algorithm to find a predictive analytics or a retrospective data viewpoint on this particular data, which can help me with more insights the next time I prescribe this set of medicine to this category of patients? This is where the implementation will come. And trust me, this will only come from the viewpoint of a clinician. The technology world will be always there to assist us in building these solutions, in developing these models. But we need to understand the need gap, and we need to understand that what solution is needed to address that need gap. That's where the foundation knowledge is so important.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much. So my next question is to Dr. Bipin. So how do you see AI evolving in the next decade? in India?
It's a very open question.
Yeah.
It's a lots of dynamic. It's a lots of strategic shift that is happening. And if you see this two parallel stream, one is the AI technology is gearing up with lots of technology that is now coming, and the second is in a second stream, that is our hospital and healthcare, and our other platform are generating lots of data elements. So in the next 5 years journey, what's going to happen? So we have a two parallel stream going in India. One is the lots of different digital platform is creating the huge data set that what we can consider as a big data. And the second is a technology company like Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia. They are creating the hardware and software platform, and from the both stream, if you can get the best part of the technology, best part of the data, which then you put into synchronization mode in next 5 years to create the robust artificial intelligence for healthcare platform, get the best out of this two stream. And the next 5 years from 2030 to 35, that's a time you are actually building the artificial intelligence tools and technology that is very, like we can call as say, the Indian way to do the Indian product and service, because those artificial intelligence tools actually going to be developed on the Indian healthcare data set. So that's, I think, see the potential scenario clubbing after 5 years to make this happen, that even the general practitioner in the village using the AI technology for their some clinical decision, to someone working as a cardiothoracic surgeon in Bangalore use the artificial intelligence to making decision while he is operating on the patient. So this is the possible scenario I do see as I saw the journey of the artificial intelligence and how it's evolving in the European country, and particularly in UK.
Uh,
So lots of
That
challenge, but lots of potential.
I'll just add one more point to what Bipin said, and just remember that in India, our healthcare ecosystem is very diverse, and the infrastructures has multiple tiers. You have public health, you have private health, and that too has multiple tiers. This diversity is actually going to be our strength, because with the implementation of artificial intelligence, you are going to look at somewhere a more equitable distribution of healthcare resources. And if we can channelize it with the right intent, with the right data, and with the right solution, with the right finances, with the right economy, etc., and with the right governance, I think we are going to be strengthening this diversity with a more stronger and equitable healthcare resource distribution, because it comes with that one point, taking the right care to the right patient at the right point of time. And that's what AI should enable us to do at every point. So I believe, as compared to the NHS, as compared to the US, where the healthcare structure is quite unified at most of the levels, in India we are diverse, and this diversity can be actually our strength rather than our weakness. Well, time will tell us.
well said, very well said. I think there is one last question. What are some real world examples of AI successfully transforming healthcare roles and outcomes? It's an open question, so anyone can take it.
Yeah, so I'll let Bipin take this
Let
because
me
he.
start with
Yes.
the real world scenario and example. One of the professor in the Warwick University is expert in diabetology and produce lots of research paper. he came with the question, Bipin, I would like to identify the patient group with 20% of variation in HB1C reading in last 6 months. So in the entire population, if you can identify those population segment with the machine learning who has a variation of 20% of in the last 6 months of their one HB1C reading. We apply this query into our database and that is come up with the result. So we wanted to develop the population health level intervention by segmenting those patients who are actually getting variability in their H1BC result in last 6 months. So we can design the targeted intervention for only those population segment and those patients where they are going to go for to developing the diabetes related complication. So this is one of the example that how we can develop the machine learning algorithm to identify the variability in the diabetes care, and then we can design the possible earliest intervention. So AI is there to help you to make quick and precise decision on the spot.
Yeah, and just
Yes,
to add to it,
definitely.
I think the other advancements which are happening is the field of radiology, which everybody needs to keep a eye on the segment of image analysis. So it could be radiology, it could be pathology, it could be dermatology. These are all the advancements which are happening using artificial intelligence. And in 2025, I can tell you that we are going to look at more and more clinical decision support system coming out using artificial intelligence. So that is something that we need to really watch out for. And maybe when we have more and more data that Bipin was talking about, by 26, 27, we could see more and more predictive analytic algorithms coming out. So I think these are the three phases. The diagnostic phase is already developed and it's going to continuously develop now with more of use of GANs and generative AI, etc. You will see more of clinical decision support system this year and the next, and more predictive analytic tools, which are really making impact in clinical care coming up probably in the field of pharmacology and the other domains, probably in the next couple of years. So that's the way I look at the developments happening.
That's
And
sounds.
one of the
Yes.
yeah, and one of the use case that many countries are developing, it's a predictive alerts. So you can design the patient's data and the risk factor in such a way that in a given period of time, if AI can predict the some complication is getting developed in the patient body, it automatically alert the healthcare system as well as the patient itself. So that's one of the best preventive technology that AI themselves can design for the patient and for the healthcare system, and that's going to be a strategic shift for the population health management and the self care of the patient. So patient can design their own AI tools and technology from their own data to guide the patient themselves, and that is already operationally in Denmark.
Definitely, definitely, sir. Thank you so much. This was uh, such fun discussion where we got to learn so much about AI and the understanding about how it's going to reshape the whole healthcare system. We are going to have. This was a very successful first Med AI Web Hour. So thank you so much, Dr. Bipin sir and Dr. Amit sir. Further, we are going to have 10 more such web AI hours, Med AI web hours every month. So I request all the audience members, people who could attend to the web hour today, to share the topics that they want to hear in the upcoming web hours. Um, Thank you so much. One takeaway that I'm going to take from this is what Dr. Amit sir said: is the human in the loop is you. I really liked that line. So yeah, thank you so much for so any closing remarks if you want to say something, Dr. Amit sir.
Well, I'll just reiterate what you said. The human in the loop is you, and it's always going to be you, and it will never get
Yeah,
replaced. It'll never get replaced,
yeah,
but you will be augmented with the augmentation of artificial intelligence. So let's gear
yeah.
ourselves. Let's get curious. Let's learn. Let's adopt, and then let's adapt.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your expertise here. Thank you, Bipin sir. With this, I conclude the first Med AI Web Hour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.